Hi, I'm Dewi and welcome to my channel, Dewi's Life Coaching. Today I'm going to review Under the Christmas Sky and do a short summary, then look at some things from a life coaching perspective and then give my final review. So here we go. The main character in this, her name is Kat. She is an astrophysicist who worked on the probe that went to the sun to take pictures and get some extra information about the sun, and that's like her main achievement in working at the National Science Program, or they say the NSP in this movie. She starts out where she had already been in a car accident and she's getting news from, I believe, the NSP doctor that is going to tell her whether or not she can go to the space station. Turns out that from the accident she got this dark spot in one of her eyes and it's not clearing up or going away, and it looks like it's going to be permanent. So she will be forever grounded and not be able to go to space. The other character in this, which is her counterpart, is David, and he is the Science Museum curator. They end up working together because David's boss thinks that for Christmas there needs to be a little bit more addition to the exhibits to make it more themed and tied into Christmas, to be more fun and creative than just the basic science, so that it attracts more people, that people get more energized and excited about coming to the museum. Some of the Christmas things they do in this movie are they have a donation drive at the museum, which is run by the cafe manager. Her name is Celeste. She also does an ornament party, and there's also a big Santa tracker at the planetarium there at the museum on Christmas Eve. That's sort of the big, finale, big party finish for the movie. Another thing that they do is the main characters go curling. So that's that sport where they throw the stones over the ice and then they sweep in front of it to get it to go across the target. So I would say those are the main Christmas events that take place. And then Kat and David end up working together, and Kat's super creative and gives a lot of suggestions and things to David for their exhibit as over the course of the movie. And that's basically, I would say, the summary. They end up together, and there's a little side story of her brother and the Celeste, the cafe manager who does the Christmas planning stuff, and they sort of have a little romance going as well. Something I will say that I noted that was different is it's the first time I've seen where a main character had a multiracial family. Kat is biracial, and that's the first time I've seen that stand out to me. I could be wrong. There could have been other movies where they've done it, but it stood out to me for the first time here in this Christmas movie. And I thought that was kind of neat because I'm biracial myself. I'm half Asian, half Caucasian, so that stood out to me, and I kind of noticed that, and that was kind of nice. So now let's get into the coaching stuff. Cat's eye is a huge, big deal. And when something huge and devastating like that happens, you get that kind of news, and this has been your dream, your life goal to get into space. I didn't see her struggle with this in the movie. I didn't see her having to work through, or they didn't show it in the movie, and I would have liked more of that. David just seems to kind of go along with stuff, and he does have a dilemma of how to be attentive to his daughter, who is in a wheelchair, so he's very hypersensitive to her needs and taking care of her, and notices that she sometimes does not ask him for help because she wants to be treated like everybody else, like a normal kid. And so sometimes she won't tell him really important things when she does need help and attention. So he's gets upset when Kat goes and sort of gives a pep talk to his daughter when he feels it should have been him and that he should have managed that. So this is an instance where the things that happen with David are directly related to Kat. He gets upset with her twice in the movie, first with his daughter and then later on when she wants to decide to take another curating position at a science museum in Chicago, at a huge museum. And she gets offered the position because they want it to be cutting edge and up to date and all the things that she has done from NSP and to bring that with her. And he gets really upset with her and kind of is like, I don't know what, I thought you were going to stay. I thought you liked it here. And because they had kissed prior to the end of the movie, unlike most Hallmark movies. And so she gets really shocked and surprised and kind of says some things to him like, well, I get to decide what I'm going to do and what I'm going to do with my life, and is this because of the kiss? And he, of course, kind of storms and leaves. So I think overall, they didn't get into his issues enough to overcome them and resolve them. He just kind of said, oh, I'm kind of working on it. This is kind of what bugs me. But again, there was no working through it with him. We did not see how he's getting better at it or what he's trying to do. And this seemed more like, to me, an older version of what Hallmark movies used to be. I know they've kind of changed a lot in their style. This seems more like one of their older style movies where everything's really kind of on the surface. We don't get into any heavy, deep issues. We don't get too deep into hurt feelings. We don't. So if that's the kind of Hallmark movie you're looking for, then this would be the one for you. But after seeing the first two this weekend, which were a little bit more modern, a little bit more on the realistic side, I didn't love this one so much. I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it more, especially with Kat being an astrophysicist, showing a woman in a science-driven field, and it was so different. I loved that. I loved the idea of what the movie's supposed to be. I just don't think they showed enough of the struggle that made me want to root for these main characters. I didn't feel like rooting for them. It wasn't there. If you watch my review on Where Are You Christmas, I love Where Are You Christmas, but the stakes are really high. We've got to save Christmas. Kat's not going around thinking, I've got to figure out what to do. Like, I'm not gonna let this hold me back. I'm gonna, I don't get that sense from her. And with David, he's just so even-toned through the whole movie. So I guess there's not a lot of contrast. Kat seems like, oh, things happen. I'm gonna stay upbeat and just go with the flow and figure it out as it comes along. And she seems a bit too happy to me. And I get it's a movie and all of that. But if it were like real life, I might even say she might need some therapy to deal with recognizing that it's a traumatic event to be in a car accident, one. I think it's another traumatic event to say you're never going to go into space when that was always your life's goal. And to not deal with it and to gloss over it and just be, well, I'll figure out what to do. I think that's going to come back at some point in her life, and it's going to hold her back in some way, or it'll keep popping up if it's unresolved. And that's something I would really clear up if I were her. If it were me, if that happened to me. So I think my overall rating would be like a 2.5 out of 5. I know, I wanted to like this one. I mean, it was cute. The tone was cute. There was a lot of romantic cheese in it. If that's what you like, it's enjoyable. It's enough to watch once. I won't be going back and watching it like Where Are You Christmas? Oh gosh, I love that one. Okay. So If you like this review, hit subscribe. I'll be doing more reviews of the Christmas movies this season. Bye. See you next time.